Why didn't Voldemort create new Horcruxes? This question haunts fans. He craved immortality, tore his soul apart, and built the perfect defense system. But when his Horcruxes started getting destroyed, why didn't he make new ones? He had the opportunity. Or did he? Creating a Horcrux isn't just a spell. It requires murder and a complex ritual. Perhaps it demanded specific conditions, rare knowledge. Voldemort had little time left. He couldn't just create a new Horcrux whenever he wanted. Overconfidence played a role as well. Voldemort saw himself as invincible. Even after the diary was destroyed, he didn't take it seriously. He believed no one could eliminate all his Horcruxes. By the time he realized his mistake, it was too late. Or maybe he simply couldn't. Voldemort's soul was unstable. He himself admitted that every split weakened him. Another fragmentation might have killed him. By the final battle, he relied on an artificial body. A new Horcrux could have been his end rather than his salvation. There's another detail. Horcruxes didn't just protect him, they tied him to the world. But Voldemort couldn't control them. If a new Horcrux fell into the wrong hands, it would have been a weakness, not an advantage. But even knowing he was dying, why didn't he try? The answer may lie not in magical logic, but in narrative logic. Rowling created a powerful villain, but he needed to lose. If he could have made another Horcrux, the story wouldn't have reached its climax. But imagine if he had made a new Horcrux. What object would he have chosen? Whom would he have killed? Or did he simply not dare? Perhaps he feared not death, but what would happen to his soul if he tore it apart once more?
What do you think? Why didn't he create a new Horcrux?
But imagine he did have a chance. What if, at the moment he realized his Horcruxes were being destroyed, he actually considered making a new one? Where would he have hidden it? What object would he have used? Perhaps he would have chosen something unexpected, something unremarkable, unlike his previous artifacts. A random street stone, a child's toy, or something so insignificant that no one would ever think to touch it. But even if he had wanted to do it, who would he have killed? Voldemort didn't just split his soul, he embedded a fragment into a special object, tied to a meaningful death. His first Horcruxes were created through the murder of significant people. Hepzibah Smith, Morphin Gaunt, even the accidental Horcrux in Harry, though unintended, was linked to the magically powerful act of killing the Potters. This meant that a new Horcrux required an important sacrifice, someone who truly mattered to him. But who could that have been?
Harry. No, he wanted to kill him to destroy the last piece of his soul, not create another.
Bellatrix too loyal, he trusted her. Severus Snape? Voldemort never saw him as important, and most crucially, he didn't suspect Snape's betrayal until the very end. And if he chose a random victim, would that have been enough? Or did the creation of a new Horcrux require something more? But perhaps the answer lies elsewhere. He wasn't afraid of murder. He wasn't afraid of sacrifices. He feared the one thing he never admitted to fearing, fear itself. In his eyes, fear was weakness, yet deep down he felt that splitting his soul any further would bring him to the edge. He believed he had already achieved immortality, but if he took one more step, would he still be himself? At some point, even he must have wondered, what if I'm no longer Voldemort? What if there's nothing left of Tom Riddle? Maybe, deep inside, he feared that his soul was already empty, that there was nothing left to tear apart. And then there's the question of when he should have considered making a new Horcrux.
When he learned the diary was destroyed, he still felt invincible. When he realized the diadem was lost, he was furious but still didn't believe in total failure.
When Nagini was killed, That was when he panicked. That was when he realized he was mortal again. But by then there was no time left. The Horcrux ritual likely required preparation. Even if he had immediately killed someone, spoken the right words, performed the spell, could he have managed it in the middle of battle? With Harry walking toward him in the forest, with Hogwarts collapsing, with his followers dying one by one. And one more thing. Voldemort thought he was immortal, but deep down he knew he had a limit. How many times can a soul be split before it disappears completely? His body was already artificial. His existence depended on a ritual performed by Peter Pettigrew and Bertha Jorkins. It's possible that he felt one more split, and he would be completely erased. But the ultimate question remains, if he had the chance to create another Horcrux, would he have done it? Or did the thought never even cross his mind? Perhaps he was too proud. Perhaps he was too certain of himself. Or perhaps he simply didn't know what to do when the plan he had spent decades building began to crumble before his eyes. What do you think? If he had one more chance, what would he have chosen?